JT here from Real SoCal Soccer Club, sitting here with Alberto Bru, better known as AB, our Director of Coaching for Real SoCal. We're here to talk a little bit about the new U.S. soccer initiatives that are going to be implemented in 2016 and 2017. This right here is our first kind of podcast and our introduction to our new way of communicating to our parents. And we wanted to sit down with the boss and see his thoughts and help communicate all these new changes that are coming. And actually, they are really confusing. So I'm glad we got to sit down and talk about this. First things first, how will these new initiatives from U.S. Soccer affect Real SoCal?
Okay, let's start by explaining the initiatives because I believe that there's a lot of information out there, and let's just go straight to that. So right now, the birth year that's being used is August 1st. That's the birth date that separates the players into the age divisions that they will play in. So moving forward, it will be the calendar year. So the calendar year that you are born in, that's what you play. So if you're born in 02s, you will play with only 02 born players. That's the initiative that will take effect in 2016, but we have to deal with it right away because we make our teams at the end of State Cup, which is really January, February, March. So that's why it's important to us right now for ages 8s through 13s.
Okay, so the impact on the current teams?
The impact on the current teams is really none at all. We want all our players to enjoy this season. We want them to work hard, and after the season is when we will begin that process. It's after the State Cup, again, for ages U8 through U13.
Okay, so how will those new teams be formed?
Okay, the way they will be formed is following Real SoCal tryout protocol. That means that we don't do it until the end of the season. We do it post-State Cup. We have a brief tryout period. Everyone is allowed to try out for any Real SoCal team that they can. Players from outside the club will also come at that point and try out. So after the tryouts, you will know what team you're on, you'll know who your coach is, and you'll know who else is on your team, and you'll know what level your team will be playing at.
And will the roster sizes change?
The roster sizes do not change. That is the other initiative that they have. For the year 2017, for ages 8 through 12, the roster sizes will change, the size of the field will change, and the number of players on the field will change. That information went out in the email that we sent our parents. It's also on the Cal South website, also on the U.S. Soccer website, but that change does not take effect until 2017. So we're really focusing here on the age group change.
So the immediate change is the age groups. The following year is the roster size and field size.
Correct, for the fall of 2017, correct.
And in the fall of 2017, roster size gets smaller, fields get smaller,
and numbers are different on the particular age groups.
but we don't have to worry about that.
Correct.
Okay. And when will the head coaches be announced for the new teams for the upcoming year?
For the upcoming season, the coaches will be announced by the end of the trial process.
Like business as usual.
Exactly. And our goal here is to form the most competitive teams that we can per age group. So when we go for next season for the calendar age, we're going to put the best teams that we can at every age group. That's what we are. Real SoCal is a competitive soccer club, and that is our mission, and we will stick with that, trying to form the best competitive teams that we can and try to put the individuals on the best team that they can be on for their individual development.
So what about players playing up? Can they play up?
Absolutely. Players play up in our club now. So if a player, it's the right thing for that player to play up, they can also play up with the new years. But it's important to note that the players have to meet a couple criteria. Number one, it has to be important that they make a positive impact on the team that they're going to. It can't just be a good thing for the player. It has to be a good thing for the team that they're going to. Also, they have to be able to secure enough playing time to continue their development. It doesn't make sense to take a talented young player and play them 30, 40, 50% of the game when they could be getting 80, 90%, 100% of the playing time in their own age division.
Okay, so as far as percentages, how many players right now do you think in each age group do we have playing up?
We have a few per age group. There's no real percentages, but we have players playing up when it's the right thing for that individual. Quite a few of our players play up. We have over 700 players, so we have quite a few playing up, and it will remain that way. Again, if it's the right thing for the player and the team that they're going to.
And who makes that final decision if a player is going to play up?
Oh, the coaching staff will determine what's the right fit for that player and what's the best thing for his future.
And we'll counsel with the parents as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Business as usual. As far as starting to do the trainings, I know with the boys, we've done it with Academy for years on doing age group transition, and now we're doing it with the youngers. What about the girls?
Well, that process has already begun, JT. Okay. You mentioned the Academy. So the Academy has always been on calendar year. So we currently have the boys' third day training program on Wednesdays. And on Wednesdays, they train 02s, 03s, 04s, 05s, train together. So we have that right now with the boys. The girls' third day training program will start in January. And when it starts back up in January, it will start with the calendar year groups. We're also having some trainings with the girls during the practice times, which we put the girls in the birth year groups. Because it's very important that the players get to see who they're playing with, who they're playing against, because you're talking about players, even though they're the same birth year, coming from different teams and even different age divisions. So for example, U13s are U02s and O3s, and also on the U12s are O3s. So players are coming from different age divisions and different teams in our club. They may be coming from blue or white. So we put them together so our coaches can evaluate them to see the best place where they belong and what team will be the best place for them. Also, when we come back in January, our winter startup camp will be done by the age group divisions. So our coaches will already begin seeing the players, evaluate them, how they compare in their age division, and players will already be playing with and against players in their own birth year.
It actually sounds exactly like what we did to make the Academy teams. We're just replicating what we've been doing for years.
Absolutely, and we have 8 years of experience of making those Academy teams because, again, Academy was always on calendar year, and we always had to take teams that were on the August and make them into teams that were on the January birth year. So that's exactly right, and we've got 8, 9 years now of doing that in our club. The other advantage that we have at Real SoCal is we have a very deep talent pool. So we have a lot of very good young players. So when you restructure them in these calendar ages, we're very fortunate to have a lot of good players, to have quality players on all of our teams.
Absolutely. So if you were to kind of give a final message to our families and membership, what would you let them know?
Well, our final message is that rest assured that Real SoCal has years of experience at converting calendar year to birth year, right? So going from August to the calendar year birth group, we have a lot of experience doing that because of the Academy. The last thing is that we want the players to participate in this season, and at the end of the season, go through the entire year, go through the entire trial process, see who's going to be on your team, see what those players look like, see who your coach is going to be, make an informed decision, not make a decision based on what you think might be, or I don't want to play with that group. After all, you're going to be playing with players the same year as you. They may be younger now because of the arbitrary August 1st, but you will still be playing with players that are the same birth year as you. And in the Academy, we found a very seamless transition to form new teams. The other thing is, there is going to be change. U.S. Soccer has initiated this change. There's nothing we can do. So no matter what, there is going to be change for your teams. Some teams may be impacted a little bit. Some teams may be impacted a lot. But the last thing we want to assure you that Real SoCal has the experience, the talent pool, the coaching staff to handle this. And we want you to enjoy this year, go through the entire process, and make the best decision at the end of this trial process so you can see what team you will be assigned.
Perfect. I think that's perfect. Thanks for tuning in to our first meeting in our podcast, and it's always good to hear from the boss. Thanks very much.
Hey! Hey!